In today's world where many of us are constantly connected, where every moment seems as taken or accounted for, there's a need to step back and find some quiet time to relax and deconnect. Tonight you'll meet a Lexington entrepreneur who believes that she has the answer to relieving stress by floating. The story is new at 6. In a small building on East High Street in Lexington, Corinne LaRue has created a place of peace, relaxation, and calm.
Grace.
She calls Source on High a wellness co-op and movement studio that includes massage, yoga, meditation, and this, water therapy in float tanks.
I feel like the most powerful healing moments that I've experienced have been with water or somewhere near water.
Her float tanks, she has 2, each holds 160 gallons of water, about 10 to 12 inches high, with a temperature of 92.5 degrees. Each tank has a lid that shuts almost like a cocoon. The key, there's 1,200 pounds of Epsom salts in the water, making it almost impossible for a person to sink.
You can't not float.
Dale Austin just retired after a long career at UK. He's on his way to a float session. His first float last year was in another city.
I tend to be a self-generating stress person, as lots of us are, and I needed something to relieve that.
Dale was excited to hear float tanks were coming to Lexington.
It's certainly not something that's mandatory for me. It's not like I have to take a prescription on a daily basis or something. On the other hand, it's a really good additive benefit to me if I'm able to kick back every month or so and spend an hour and a half relaxing.
You have several options in the float tank. Each one is in a small private room with a shower. You can choose to have the lid closed all the way or partially open. You can go dark inside, or you can choose a light color. Music or no music. And there's an intercom and talk button if you need help.
So I'm floating naturally. I'm not doing any kind of movement of any nature to stay afloat. And that because of that, after some number of minutes, you kind of forget where you're at.
This is complete sensory isolation. Once you're inside the float tank and the lid closes, you essentially can't see anything, you can't hear anything, and the only thing you can really feel inside is the water. You even lose the sense of gravity.
You have this time of having nothing to do, nothing holding onto you or pulling you back. You completely let go, and I mean, it's like a gift.
Dale says the floats also ease his arthritis. NBA superstar Stephen Curry regularly floats in San Francisco.
It's an opportunity to just relax, for one, and get away from all the stresses on the court and in life, but obviously has some physical benefits as well with salt.
I find it purges my mind, sometimes better than others. Some float events are better than other float events, but the ability to kick back and release all the thoughts I have and get back to being a clean mind, if you will, is really beneficial.
So you may be wondering how much it costs. A 1-hour float at Source on High is $60, 3 floats $135. The water in the tank is run through a filter system to try and keep it clean, and the salt water kills any germs. After the float, you take a shower and relax for a while to readjust to being out of the water.